there. So another very quick revision video, which will be helpful for GCSE and for A-level. So radioactivity comes into fourth year GCSE and A2 level rather than AS. So obviously the levels of the questions are significantly different, but it's overall the same premise, and people sometimes struggle with what exactly half-life is. So say I have a sample of something that's radioactive, say it's iodine 131 or something. That's a radioactive source. That means it's constantly emitting radiation and therefore it's decaying. So it's unstable. If it's radioactive, it's unstable. So it's constantly going to be emitting particles. And it's going to, the count rate and the activity and stuff like that is therefore going to get less and less and less over time as it continues to emit particles. As you can see here, the activity decreases over time exponentially like that. So what half-life is it's the time that it takes for the activity to decrease by half. So if we look here, say this value is 400 becquerels, or at GCSE you'd maybe call them counts per second. So the time that it takes to go from 400 to 200 is then, what's that time there? So that is the half-life then of the radioactive source. Is the time taken for the count rate to decrease by half. Now, another thing to remember is once it gets to 200, then for it to decrease to half of its activity, it only decreases by 100 rather than 200 this time, because half of 200 is 100. So if you go over here like that, then that distance is another half-life, and so on. So that's basically what it is. It's your source is constantly emitting particles and radiation, and its activity or its count rate is going to get less and less and less over time. So the half-life is the time it takes to get to half of its activity level, or to have half of the number of atoms. That more comes in at A level. So yes, that's a very brief description of half-life. I'll be putting up example questions for half-life, so keep an eye on the page for that. But thank you very much for watching. I hope this helped, and good luck with your questions.